Hey everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So today I want to tell you a tale of two peach trees. Now what you see here is a peach tree that was gifted to me, and I can't remember if it was either Father's Day or my birthday, which are very close together. My birthday's in the first part of July. And this was gifted to me by one of my daughters, and I really do appreciate it. But there was a question that was asked on one of the Facebook groups that I'm in about gardening, and they were talking about fruit trees and whether or not they should get a peach tree and plant it now. So I want to show you this one. This was gifted to me, like I said, in the summertime. It got planted in the summertime, and it's growing, but this is several years old, and it's doing okay, but you can see where it's died back in a few spots, just not really doing great. So I've got two good branches coming off, and that's okay, and it will continue to grow. You can see on here, all of this here is all new growth along here and there. And I do want to say though, it's never produced fruit. All right, now let me show you another tree. Now behind me you see another peach tree that was actually bought after the first peach tree that I showed you. This peach tree has produced fruit 2 years in a row now, and a good large quantity of fruit. And you can see a huge difference between this tree and this tree, the first tree that I showed you. This one was bought in the fall and planted in, it was either late fall or early winter. And it has done so much better. So I'm just completely, worlds of difference in the size of the tree, the fruit production, the look of the tree, the growth put upon the tree, just 100% different. All right, so what's the difference between this peach tree and the other peach tree, the second peach tree? And what is the moral of the story behind the tale of two peach trees? Well, first off, I really think that planting it in the summertime has stunted its growth. Now, I think that over time this will grow out to be a good, healthy, productive tree, but you can see it's now kind of oddly shaped because of the fact that I had some dieback that happened, in the summertime. It took a while for it really to get going, whereas the other tree is twice, well, actually probably 5 times this size as far as total overall leaves. The trunk on this one is much bigger. It's smaller, but the other tree has got a bigger trunk. Just a world of difference. This one has yet to produce any fruit. The other one produced a ton of fruit 2 years in a row. So I really do believe that when you plant your tree, it makes a huge difference. Now, I'm not an arborist, I'm not a master gardener or anything of that nature, but I will tell you that it's fairly obvious to me from just this experience that planting fruit trees in the summer is probably not a good idea. I would stick with the conventional wisdom that tells you that you should plant your fruit trees, particularly deciduous fruit trees like this, stone fruit trees and so on, are much better to be planted in the wintertime when they're still dormant, so that they can actually expand out and really build that root ball and actually grow properly in the way that you would think would be more natural. All right, so if you were asking me when should I plant my fruit trees, I would say plant them in the fall. All right, plant them in the wintertime. Don't plant, or even in the late or the very early springtime would be a good time to plant them. But don't plant them in the heat of the summertime, in my opinion, or don't go buy them to plant in the heat of the summertime. And in fact, in previous years, I've always asked for trees as one of the things that I would like to get for both my birthday and for Father's Day. And I think I'll kind of revise that, though I'm planning to go doing some shopping here at a place called Maggie's Herb Farm here tomorrow as my Father's Day gift. And we're going to see what I get. But it's like really, really hot right now. And even the trees that have been established and have been in the ground for many years are struggling a bit with the heat. The heat right now, it's 95 degrees. I got a little tiny breeze. The humidity is like, probably 70-80%. It's got a feel-like temperature of 105, and then tomorrow I think it's supposed to be 99, and it's supposed to be a feel-like of 110 or something like that. And that's a hard time for a fruit tree to grow. So if you're looking to get a fruit tree, if you're looking to buy and plant fruit trees, particularly for deciduous fruit trees like apples and peaches and pears and things like that lose their leaves, I think you're far better off, from my experience, doing it when the tree is still dormant, when the leaves are not there yet, or when they're just starting to come out. And I think you'll be much more successful if you do it that way than you will if you plant them now, if you go buy fruit trees now. Now, I do understand that you can get a lot of fruit trees on sale. Now, I know this is supposed to be the tale of two fruit trees, but let me show you one more tree. All right, so behind me here you see my largest peach tree. And it's good. I mean, it's a good sized tree. It's got a trunk that's at least bigger around than my fist. It's a very nice, beautiful tree, but it really hasn't produced a lot of fruit. Now, I will tell you that I did buy this one in the summertime about 6-7 years ago. It's one of the first fruit trees I put in on this property when we first moved here. It's been a really nice looking tree, but it has not produced a lot. Now, is that because of the time that I planted it? I don't know. I will tell you though that variety makes a huge difference. And this is either a Florida King or a Florida Queen, one of the two, which is supposed to be one of the fruit trees that does very well in our area. However, that has not been my experience to date. I mean, I think we got 2 or 3 peaches off of this tree this year. Now, I still got hope that eventually it'll grow up and really start to produce some fruit, but so far it hasn't really been the case. So that last tree I showed you, like I said, we got it on sale. It was in the summertime when, you know, people stopped buying fruit trees because that conventional wisdom tells you now's not the time to plant them. We did plant it. It's been 6 years. It's grown huge. It's a very large, very nice fruit tree. However, it has not produced fruit. Now, whether or not that's a result of how it got planted or the soil, and I will tell you, we've got a huge difference in soil in my yard. Some soil is more fertile than others. Some soil is nicer, richer soil. Though I got to say that area where the second fruit tree is really didn't seem to be any richer than any other soil. All of them have had wood chips, large stacks of wood chips put up around them. You know, and I'm talking in multiple layers repeatedly. I put wood chips on and around these fruit trees. I think the wood chips are a good thing. One is the wood chips break down, they actually improve the soil, and 2, they help to protect the tree from, you know, wide swings in moisture. Because I mean, yeah, I have a sprinkler system on my yard, which I do use on a regular basis. It goes off twice a week. All right, but you still have times like this. Like, we haven't had any real serious rain now for a good 2 weeks, and the temperatures have been in the 90s, and it just cooks. I mean, I couldn't walk barefoot on any soil out here without burning my feet right now. It's just gotten that hot. And so that really dries things out, and I think the wood chips do help to keep that soil moist and keep that moisture more even over time. But again, my take on this is, if you're going to plant fruit trees, particularly deciduous fruit trees, you need to plant them in the fall or in the winter time when they're still dormant. And I think that in the end it'll be a much better payoff for you. And in my experience, it has been. All right, planting the fruit trees in the fall has produced a much better crop of fruit, much nicer tree in a much shorter time frame. All right, that's my take on things. You do what you want to do. This is my experience and my experience alone. But I will tell you that the conventional wisdom does say plant your fruit trees in the winter or in the fall, not in the summertime. All right, thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, give me a like and a subscribe, and let me know what you think. But most importantly, grow something. And if now's the only time you can get a fruit tree and get it in the ground, by all means do it. But I think you're going to be better off if you wait till winter. All right, thanks once again. Y'all come back and see me.